inspiring, or infuriating. When I say these leaders' names, label them. Barack Obama, Steve Jobs, Meg Whitman, Hillary Clinton. You. Adam Galinksy has done research, and he's determined that there are 3 universal characteristics that determine if an individual is inspiring or infuriating. Let's take a look at those 3 areas. Welcome to Great Transition Strategies Monday Morning Stand-Up. 5 minutes to get your week off to a great start and potentially give yourself something to help make you a more effective leader so you can love what you do. What are those 3 characteristics? First, you see I have the whiteboard here today. I have them up here. What's the first one? You're a visionary. Second, example. Third, you're a mentor. As we go through this, I want you to put in your head right now, who is the most inspiring leader you've ever worked for? Put up an example of that individual. Choose, and I want you to think about that individual. What made them inspiring? What were the characteristics that they had? Have it? Right, now you have an example. Now, as we go through this, I want you to think about yourself. Give yourself a grade right now. Where do you think you are as far as being inspiring? I have a little graph here. On the left, I have infuriating. On the right, I have inspiring. If you put a 0 in the middle, maybe a -5 for infuriating, +5 for inspiring. Right, so you have that in your head. Let's go through each 3 areas. And I want you to think about the example, and I want you to think about yourself. First one, visionary. What does it mean to be visionary? It means that you have the ability to clearly develop a picture for those that you're leading. They all know where you're going. Think of that example that you had. How well did that person set the vision for where you were going? You personally, the organization, or the team? Was it there? I'm going to bet that it probably was, if that was an example for you. How well are you doing with your team? If I went to every individual on your team and said, okay, Gary, what's the vision that Gary has? Would they all say the same thing? There's a measure right there. Next part, exemplar. What's the example that you set for your team? We've all worked for that individual who's probably infuriating. Do as I say, not as I do. How angry did that make you? Always being very dictatorial towards you. Do this, and you're like, well, they don't do that. Where did that move you on the spectrum that made them an infuriating leader? What about you? If someone follows your example, will they move? Will they be better at what they do? Give yourself a grade there. I'm going to assume that that person that you chose was a really good example. Right? Last one, mentor. What is a mentor? Do you have one? I'm sure you have some mentors. A mentor is someone who can elevate, help individuals, empower them, help individuals grow. Do something to make sure that person gets better as they're in the organization, the longer they're in the organization. What kind of mentor are you for the members of your team? And are you a mentor for individuals, for just a few individuals, or for the entire team? If you are just working on a few individuals, maybe spreading that can move you on the spectrum. Right, we just went through each of the 3 areas, explained what they are. Where are you? And if you think about some of the examples I gave, like Steve Jobs, clear visionary in the tech side, was the example of how you wanted to treat people? Not great. So in some cases, you can be really inspiring in some and not in others. The truly inspiring can do this in all the areas. I recommend take some time, grade yourself in each of these 3 areas, and then choose one area, just one area, and do one small thing. What if you went and checked yourself with your team and saw and heard how well you're articulating your vision, so that you could improve that? One way to make yourself more inspiring by tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Hope you found that helpful. See you next Monday morning, 8:30. Have a great week.